Hello, this is Wyona.
And this is Kylie.
And this is our first episode of our podcast.
Where's our music?
Well, remember we were just recording the audio and then we're going to edit after?
I see. You just said that.
Said that. We have a microphone situation where we only have one working, and we have the new Adobe Audition that we don't know how to use at all whatsoever. So
this is all trial and error, baby.
Yes, we recorded something previously, and no one will ever hear it ever in the light of day. Maybe
unless
this
we
one
become
too.
like really famous, and then it'll be some like backlog.
Be like
catalog.
We'll be on an interview and be like, "Oh no, you found it," and then they'll play it and be like, "What the?"
And we had secretly sent it in. We don't know how you found that.
Totally rational thoughts about our podcast.
And what is our podcast? Why are we doing
Good
this?
question. Good question.
What is a podcast?
What is a podcast?
Our podcast, our idea, we wanted to do an overarching theme of pop culture.
Yes.
Because we have big pop culture brains
and big pop culture needs to be filled by you.
Listener.
This is what happens when you do no script, no planning.
I didn't think that people did. I just thought it was.
Of course they do.
We had an idea. It was loose. It was loosely planned out. We wanted to discuss where the idea came from,
yes.
What the idea is, which we're trying to do, and failing miserably.
It all started on Instagram.
Yeah. We would send audio files back and forth between each other, just talking nonsense. And most of the nonsense that we talk is pop culture related.
Yes.
Because that's
Simpsons,
what we were raised
Harry
on.
Potter,
RuPaul. Just Simpsons and Harry Potter.
YouTubes.
TikToks. Vines. Because I don't even think I was on TikTok at that point.
No, TikTok was last March for both of us.
But that's what I was associating.
It was the Carol Baskin gate that brought us to TikTok. We're like
Tiger King gate.
Yeah, it was Tiger King, because the first TikTok I ever liked was the Carol Baskin killed her husband, whacked him, with that little chubby boy with the fake mullet.
Yes.
Oh God, sorry, this is gonna be so hard to listen to because I go up and down with my topics.
Yeah.
And you're trying to keep it linear, but I'm like swerving through them. I'm like,
I'm just
I'm sorry.
We're not doing terribly here. Pop culture, that's going to be the overarching theme. I keep saying this.
Yes.
And then each week, in theory, if we were to do this once a week, which as I say, it already sounds unrealistic.
I would love to do it, to be honest,
right.
because we have fun talking back and forth. That's how it started. On Instagram was our little voice messages back and forth, which were complete gibberish, but they were so entertaining, and I had such a fun time, and I loved going back and listening to all of them.
Yeah, and I did a lot. Like, I would go back and they were my comfort sounds, and it was just us talking shit about whatever we're obsessed with. And we're obsessed with a lot of things. Yes. That's why we said, I was like, we fall in love with many things. Like, we were raised on how every other millennial is. What you said, The Simpsons, Harry Potter, RuPaul, Hayao Miyazaki, Lord of the Rings. And we figured that we have enough content there that other people might want to hear it too. Because I love listening to other people talk about the things that I love. That's the whole part of this culture. Like, when you talk about pop culture, I think it's like the communities that are built around it and wanting to be invested. You're like, you love the things that I love.
When you find another nerd somewhere and they say, you know this? And I'm like, yeah, I know that.
You know it.
Oh, it's such a good feeling.
Yeah. We weren't going to have a specific theme for this first one. It was just going to be talking about why we wanted to do it. And then, well, the idea of maybe talking about some of our favorite quotes.
Yeah, that would be nice. We always say random quotes that most people don't get. And sometimes you don't get what I'm saying, and sometimes I don't get what you're saying. Because for years, one of the quotes Kylie would say would be like, oh yeah, and you're ugly. And I'd be like so crushed. And I didn't get it for so long. And I was like, why would she say that? Every time I say something like kind of bitchy, she'd respond with, yeah, and you're ugly. And I didn't get it. And then finally she told me like years later, she's like, that's from Ace Ventura.
It is from Ace Ventura.
And I don't remember the line because I watched that as a kid, and it was actually Ace Ventura. The first one as a kid is kind of boring. I always loved the second one because it's more cartoony, right? Mm-hmm. But the first one's kind of like sexy and like more detective-y. Do you know what I mean? I know he talks out of his butthole at some point, but it is more so serious. But anyways, he's in the backyard. Courtney Love.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Courtney Cox.
In our version.
Courtney Love comes out.
What we grew up with.
And she's talking to him and trying to tell him, she's trying to motivate him, right?
Yeah, and he's being a brat. Like, that's all it is. It's just him being a brat. And if you know the movie, then you know exactly what we're talking about. And it's a funny reaction to anything.
Because she's not ugly. Because she's beautiful.
But also, if you know what I'm talking about. But I think that's, again, I keep delving into the different parts of what the pop culture is. And I think part of that is knowing weirdly specific things.
Yes.
And finding it exciting when other people know exactly what you're talking about, but also enjoying the fact that somebody doesn't know it all, and it's just a joke for you. And it was just a joke for me.
One of my
yeah, and you're ugly. One
of my favorite, more obscure references I did at our old place of work. An older council member was asking for. Oh, maybe I should talk about that. Is that okay if I talk about that?
You're talking about it.
Okay. Well, he was asking where the location was of a small statue that had been commissioned. And I was like, oh, that's cute. And he was like, yeah, the artist got the size wrong. So we wanted an actual life-size statue, but he gave us the small statue. And I said, oh, he got the Spinal Tap measurements. And he just stared at me blankly, and I was like, beep, 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 beep.
Moonwalks out of the room.
I was like, I'll keep an eye out for it, man. I was like, I've never seen it though.
That's amazing. Yeah, and I because of that alone, like what you just said, referencing things that I didn't even think to put on my list of being like, these are the themes that we're going to talk about. And I didn't think about Spinal Tap or Ace Ventura. No, but that's great.
And I brought those things
because that's hilarious. That shit is great. And that's, weird stuff that we grew up with. Oh, no, I would be so excited if somebody else was wearing like a Spinal Tap shirt.
Yeah. Oh, I listen to Big Bottom like when I'm alone in the car. Because I can't listen to some music with Dylan because she just hates it.
She's listening.
I'll listen to my musicals playlist on shuffle, and it'll be like Little Shop of Horrors, and then Chicago, and then Phantom of the Opera, and Cats.
Oh no!
Only one song from Cats, Memory, and it's amazing.
Well, to be fair, we just got Crave at home, and one of the first things that came up was Cats, and I was like, well, we're fucking watching that.
Oh, did you?
No, we haven't, but I want to. I need to be able to pull that apart.
I hear that it's a terrible...
Oh, absolutely.
No, but in Broadway, it's like it was famous for so many years, but the story's kind of like lacking, I heard. But some of the songs are what held it together for all these years.
I mean, I love me enough Taylor Swift and enough Dame Judi Dench. Yeah, no, it's got a bomb-ass cast. And Jennifer Hudson, James Corden, who I don't have
She sings the Memory song, actually.
Yeah.
But I don't think she sang it as good as the original.
She's amazing.
Mm-hmm. When she sings It's a Man's World with fucking...
Yeah, with the man.
With
Muddy Waters.
No, what? I don't know. Oh, it's a YouTube video, and she's singing that song. Who's the guy who sings She's a Lady? Tom Jones.
Oh.
She's singing with Tom Jones, It's a Man's World, from James Brown, and she fucking kills it. And Tom Jones stops singing with her, and he just leans back in his chair and watches her fucking, like, rock and belt it out. It's so good.
That's on The Voice, yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think
he looked so impressed, and I was just, like, so touched, and I was just...
She's amazing. She made... no, you know what? I'm not going to go into that. Dylan just really appreciated how well she sang Hallelujah. I think she just did Hallelujah. And like you put that quality of a voice on that song, it's emotional AF. It was so much. Very, very emotional performance. Did we introduce ourselves?
What she also did was
Thanks
sing
for not
at
answering my question.
Whitney Houston's memorial, and she sang the song, the Whitney Houston song. She sang it. Oh my god, I'm gonna get chills and cry.
You're gonna? Or they're happening?
It's happening. I'm crying.
Okay.
You saying we didn't introduce ourselves?
I don't remember.
We did 10 minutes ago.
11 minutes.
If you're still wondering who's speaking.
We are a mother-daughter duo.
Aww, I'm the mom. Everyone always thinks I'm older than Kylie. So people think
because of your age.
People think plus size people are way older than they are, and when they lose weight,
sexist.
they're like, "Oh, no, it's true though."
Sizist.
I don't know what it is. I look matronly, so they're like, "She's 40," and I'm like, "Yeah."
All right. Well,
I'm
just to clarify, I know we didn't talk about our relationship.
Oh,
and I imagine I'll go back and listen to this and I'll be able to tell us apart, but there are some times when I hear myself and I'm like, I sound like Winnie.
Sometimes I sound like you, but not often.
Yeah. But people listening to this might not be able to tell us apart. That's fine. You'll figure it out.
So we are drinking bubbly, non-sponsored.
But sponsor us,
but if you hear it slurping, that's what we're slurping.
Don't be slurping. Ew. That's ew. You're going to hear that. Mm-hmm. Anyway, our mother-daughter relationship, elaborate on that.
We're not mother-daughter at all. Shocking. We're sisters. Mm-hmm. Kylie is the elder of the two. Mm-hmm. I am the second of the two.
She's second in command.
So
I'm the general.
We have 4 siblings aside from ourselves, 6 kids, and me and Kylie are the closest out of all of them. It's true.
No, you're not wrong.
Because people would look at us and be like, "Are you guys twins?" And I'd be like, "No."
But we are.
Basically, yeah, that's how close we were. I mean, we hated each other until I think I was maybe 15.
I always loved you.
No, I mean, you tortured me until I turned 15 and then you stopped torturing me.
Yeah. But that's just how siblings are
in our family.
It's power dynamics, power struggles.
And I ended up torturing Dylan, our niece. Revenge, I guess. Take that, baby.
Just
12 years younger than me, baby.
So we are siblings, and we're close in age. We're only 2.5 years apart. Our parents had us in twos. There were 6 of us, and they were all born in pairs. So we got paired off.
They all had a buddy. The buddy system was
got paired off right away. And we are from. I don't even want to say where we're from.
We're First Nations?
Yeah.
Wait,
we're indigenous. We're real indigenous.
Grew up on the First Nation, but also
in the city.
Quarter of our years in the city.
No, I think
half now, I guess.
I was going to say, I forget that. I keep lumping in our childhood. We lived back and forth between our First Nation community and Ottawa when we were younger.
It's so weird. The biggest, whatever.
Which I think helped us. I think it helped us. And then obviously when we grew up, we went off to school and lived in, London.
Yeah, London, Ottawa,
Ontario.
The First Nation.
So we're from Ontario. I don't I'm probably gonna say where we're from more specifically, but it's just so small. You know what I mean?
I didn't realize how well I did avoiding saying where I worked or what I did. I did say counselor though. So that kind of narrows it down.
We're First Nation community. There's a lot of places. Counselors.
Oh, that's true, I guess.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm saying this now, but probably our next podcast will be like, that's where we're from. I just feel like it's so personal. I want to talk about Indigenous people in pop culture.
I would love to.
Because I think that's absolutely fucking cool.
That's how we grew up, was who's that author? Smoke Signals? His films. I guess I just oh no! I forget his name too.
I feel terrible.
Something with. We're blanking so hard.
No.
We're like,
sorry, Mom.
Flawlessly remembering Ace Ventura's entire fucking movie, but we can't remember. What's his name?
I don't know. When?
Okay, anyways, so he's a big part of our childhood.
It's a big part of our identity.
And I don't know, just we'd be able to broaden our topics too to like, oh yeah, I'd love to talk about indigenuity.
Indigeneity.
It's so
in
much
pop
of our...
culture. I love that. I did a presentation in my contemporary Indigenous studies class when I was at Western University, and I talked about at the time a new DC Comics character called Equinox, and she was based off of oh man, see, this is why you have to do your research ahead of time.
Ooh.
You know what?
Yeah,
you start talking. I'm gonna Google it. You talk about something else. Oh, okay. I found it. So, Equinox, she's a 16-year-old Cree girl, and she is based off of the young lady, and I know I'm going to say her last name wrong, and I'm so sorry to our Indigenous community for butchering this, but Shannon Kustichin?
Maybe.
Kustichin? She was a young Cree activist from Ottawapiskat.
Oh, wow.
And she led students to Parliament and held a lobby for proper school in her community. And unfortunately, that young girl was killed in a car accident when she was really young. She was only 16 years old. But as a way to honor her spirit and to honor everything that she did, she became a DC Comics character. A badass character named Equinox. And she's like, it's associated with like DC Canada, but she's part of Justice League. And they even like fashioned her whole... like Equinox's outfit based on Shannon's regalia.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I know, isn't that cool? Yeah. But like that idea, like those things, I don't think that get enough credit. And like being an Indigenous kid who loved pop culture in all facets, you never see yourself.
Never.
So any like little tiny indicator, anytime that we got like someone threw us a bone, we were like, yes, like even if it was something lame, like fucking Adam Beach's character in Suicide Squad. I hate it, but it was so cool that he was there.
Excited. Do you remember sitting in the theater to go see Guardians of the Galaxy with our buttered popcorn, and Chris Pratt presses play on his cassette tape?
Fucking
Redbone. This, I'm getting chills just talking about it. This was a song that we grew up knowing was Indigenous.
Knowing
it. We knew it. And our mom would like blast it, our dad would blast it, and we would clean the house in like summertime.
And it's a good song.
It's such a good song.
It's not even just like we just liked it because we knew they were Indigenous. Like the band Redbone are Indigenous performers, and we knew that growing up, and the song is so good. It's Come and Get Your Love, and that song being played in a Marvel movie
with Chris Pratt, this big star.
None of us knew. So when it started, we were like hitting each other, you know, like falling out of our seats.
I feel like I cried a little bit. Just I was so excited, and I was like, but like that song.
And then it became a TikTok sound.
And then Indian Car. Were just like, I felt special knowing these songs because they were so good, and I felt special because I was like, not a lot of people are going to know these songs because they're Indigenous.
Indian Car.
Sorry, Keys the Cola.
I know. Where's that song in Marvel movies?
No, it's not. Sorry, I'm just saying that like growing up with those types of Indigenous music, like Robbie Robertson.
Yes. Oh yeah, the fact that we knew that Robbie Robertson was part of the band was huge. It was like he's the most important part.
it felt special knowing these Indigenous artists and that they were that amazing and that talented, and not a lot of people didn't know them who weren't Indigenous.
Yes.
So I felt special.
Yes, absolutely. So that's not what we're talking about today.
No.
I know we just went on a tangent there.
We were talking about ourselves to introduce ourselves, and that's a huge part of who we are.
And we have parents that like absolutely foster and like encourage our nerdy brains and our obsessions with pop culture, because they're like that too in their own capacities. Our father very much so, like extremely. Like he was that comic book dad. He was more excited for new Marvel and DC movies before anybody else was. And I'm not saying that in a pretentious way. I'm just saying that's a fact. Like he knew what Marvel was going to turn into when it started, and we were just like along for the ride at that time.
When we were in the theater watching Thor for the first time, Dad leaned over in the seats and he said, "It's hot guy," and we're like, "It's a hot guy?" He's like, "No, hot guy," and we're like, "What do you say?"
Tell them it's a hot guy.
Like,
I was like, apparently it's a hot guy. Because we didn't know who the fuck Hawkeye was.
Hawkeye. But it sounded like
Hawkeye.
Yeah.
And he was the first one to tell us that we had to wait for the credits.
He was so excited to see him.
Post credits, like the first time we saw Iron Man, which was in the old theater in a certain town nearby. He didn't let us leave. He was like, no, that's the thing that they're gonna do. They're gonna start, and I'm sure that he had done some research on what the movies were going to be, and that was when they started. And now, like, that's going to be one of our themes because of our own obsessions for other reasons. They've evolved into something else, but still associate that with our nerdy dad.
Iron Man, watching Iron Man for the first time. I am so Iron Man. The fucking song. And I remember the ending credits. They're just so beautifully done.
Jon Favreau. He did such a good job.
Jon Favreau. We've had tickets in September, but I want to watch Brett Favre.
If you don't get that, stop listening.
Yeah.
Do you have your quotes written down?
No.
Oh, okay.
I've said a couple though.
But I think the whole purpose, the reason like this was our loose guideline, was to talk about why we say those so much and why they're significant. But I mean, if we keep doing this and you keep listening to us for some fucking reason, we are going to throw out quotes randomly because that's how we live our lives. Lives. I wrote down some of mine and I don't even feel like they're like representative enough of who I am.
Well, because the thing with both of us is that we'll get into new shit, not monthly, but like
regularly
periods where like I had totally different nicknames for Kylie for multiple years.
Yep.
And now Kiao from South Park. Yep. And that's referencing Cartman saying, "Oh hey Kiao," to Kyle. And I started calling her that maybe 2 years ago, and it's stuck.
I'd say longer than that. I think that's the longest one. Because it was Andre.
I forgot about that.
Andre. And that was from
I'm looking for my boyfriend.
Yeah.
Andre.
Key and Peele.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I don't even watch Key and Peele.
It's Megan, his girlfriend, is in the theater and she can't find her boyfriend, Andre.
Yeah. And it has nothing to do with me.
No, it doesn't. But
she wanted to call me that. Yeah. And I have like old screenshots of our Snapchats from you calling me Audrey all the time. And also Coral.
God, I regret that one.
Why? I thought it was funny. Because Dilly became Baby Coral for a while.
Oh yeah.
And that's just people making fun of the way
Walking Dead.
What's his ass?
The Walking Dead meme.
What the fuck is his name? I can't even remember anymore. Oh, thank you. Rick Grimes. Rick Grimes, the star of Walking Dead. Back when I watched it, I don't watch it anymore.
I stopped after the 3rd season.
I stopped after, spoiler alert, Walking Dead people, after they killed Glenn.
Everyone says that.
Well, I mean, it was so fucking much. I was just like, and it wasn't like, it was so gory. It was just, I don't know. It was just a lot, and I was like, I liked him too much.
The gratuitous scenes like that. I don't like that. I don't like it.
Okay, I'm gonna go through some of my quotes because so our idea for our first podcast was to give you an idea of why we wanted to do this in the first place, for us to shoot the shit with each other, and for you to get us to know us a little bit better. And we wanted to pick some quotes that like we say all the time that mean something to us. And why was this so hard to do?
I couldn't remember. I wrote down 2.
I couldn't fucking remember any. I saved some like things that I do say a lot. That basically that's kind of what I came down to, and they don't even mean much. So the first one,
they're just fun to say.
The first one that I wrote down, and it was one of the first ones I thought of,
I
was
know what it is.
Yes, I know. Do you? Okay, yeah. It's okay. Yeah, that's what it is.
See how well I know.
Yes. To be fair, I also said it through our Instagram conversation.
Yeah.
That came from.
Yes.
So this rather obscure thing, and I'm again talking to people like you're actually listening. It's not a Vine. No, it's a YouTube clip.
Oh.
Yeah, some dude. So when Pokemon Go came out, which, you know, like everybody else, I was obsessed with for a whole moment.
For a whole year.
For, a good enough time. And there was some dude, some brilliant man, who I can't give credit to right now because I didn't Google it, but he came up with this series of, like, the opening when you open up your little Pokemon and they're just, you know, you can look at them and you can see like the powers and stuff,
right?
And their names and whatever, but you can edit the name and it looks like they say something, like their mouths open, like they're yelling or they're like giving like a roar. And he dubbed it over with a bunch of Yasses. You remember Yas, everybody? Yas Queen. When that came out, and that was huge, and I said it all the fucking time like everybody else. And it's dumb, and it's amazing, and I highly recommend that you watch it. You just have to Google Pokemon Yas, and he has 2 videos.
And she quotes them all the time.
I can't help it.
She shares them all the time.
They're funny.
She'll send them.
And nobody else really cares that much. But they're good.
Cool.
It's just brilliant, but I still say it.
It's so simple.
So simple, but it's so funny. That's my favorite kind of thing. What else do I have here? No, I don't like it. Oh, that was a big slap. That is from Chris Evans being adorable in all of his interviews.
And we've seen
talking
that
about
through
Captain
TikTok.
America. And that's TikTok. And that is him talking about his nephew, having spent time with him, and how he always goes, I don't like it. And now he starts to say it. And there's all these clips of him saying it legitimately in interviews. And he is adorable. And I love him.
That reminds me of Tina Fey talking about her daughter. And one of the things that her daughter said once was, I want to go to there. And Tina Fey put that in 30 Rock when she sees John Hamm. And John Hamm's like, oh, sorry, I can't open the door. I was making cupcakes. I'm all covered in frosting. And she's just staring at John Hamm. And she's like, I want to go to there.
Yes. I'm sorry.
The old leather pumpkin.
The old leather pumpkin.
And he's like, sorry, what'd you say? Got the old leather pumpkin. She could totally not say it, but
it's a basketball. She's talking about basketball.
Oh, Tina Fey, yeah.
Yeah, for you who don't really get
I need
that.
to set that up better because I'm assuming they can see inside my mind.
That's the problem here, and I think that's going to keep happening. We're just going to keep talking nonsense, and that's what we do in our lives.
We're on the same wavelength. That's why you said because she knows exactly what I'm saying. She thinks the same thing I think sometimes. Because we're on the same wavelength.
Kin. The three, the thimble, the spirit of the Grithwald family Grithwald. Okay, another one. I hate these. I could have come up with so many better ones.
I hope you get some good ones.
Well, I don't. So the next one is, if you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you going to love somebody else? Can I get an amen up in here?
I have never heard her say that in my life.
What? No! I say it all the time.
To your other friends, because you never say it to me.
Okay, well, I say it all the time.
RuPaul.
Yeah, obviously. RuPaul says it at the end of every episode.
There's other...
It's true.
RuPaul. I used to quote RuPaul. I guess maybe that's the thing.
Yeah, I'm still like obsessively watching
That's the thing. So like I was obsessed with RuPaul when I was like more of a kid, and then Kylie is now obsessed with RuPaul, and I'm not because it's so popular because that's how I am.
But we're different, like, but I think that people who think like when you are very common, you know, when something gets too big, then it's like not cool
Hipsters.
anymore. Absolutely, our father is the original hipster.
Oh yes, that's what I'm doing.
You're being dad, and I don't care. If something if I didn't give something a big enough chance, and all of a sudden it blows up, I'm like, shit, I probably missed something. There's probably something in there that makes people want to watch it, and I'll go figure it out.
I do love when something that I've loved as a child becomes a thing. It always blows my mind. Well, Bone.
Oh yeah,
That's gonna make me cry.
Yeah, that's
like
amazing.
Harry Potter level. Like when Kylie read the first Harry Potter book, and then the first movie came out. Like the year later. Mm-hmm. Wasn't that exciting?
It wasn't that close. It was, like I think the first time I got that book for Christmas,
we were
the
kids,
first Harry Potter book. I was so little when I got it. I wasn't reading novels. I obsessively drew the cover.
No,
that's how young I was when I got the first Harry Potter book. So it was a few years after that when I got it, when the movie started to come out.
Because Dad got Kylie Harry Potter and he got me Bone, and he read them both to us going to bed.
That is huge. Like, that is a momentous time in our young lives.
We've had those copies since we got them, so they're like 20 years old now.
Probably more than that.
Yeah, that's insane.
We're in our 30s.
I can't believe I lent those books to people. Like, those are collectibles. Okay, what's your next quote?
But you're not gonna like it.
No, I'm sorry I said that about your other quote. I've never heard you say it though.
I say it all the time.
She talks to other people, obviously.
She has relationship with
I don't have other friends. That's why I'm shocked. Just kidding.
Everything's coming up Millhouse.
That's good.
Yeah.
She says that all the time. Simpsons,
Everything's coming up Millhouse.
we say so many different Simpsons quotes. Kylie can actually do a Moses back
No.
so well.
I'm not gonna try to do it right now.
Aw, your teeth hurt. It's from Slappy Moe's? Happy Moe's.
Uncle Moe's?
Unky Moe's. Is it Unky or Uncle?
Uncle Moe's Family Feedback.
That's it. And she could do when Unky Mo, the soda makes my teeth hurt.
No.
I don't know the set. See? Okay, never mind. But yeah, Simpsons quotes. Constant.
Yep.
Just from seasons 1 to like 12 maybe though.
Yeah. Well,
After
I know,
that.
like, there's a couple of... I didn't realize that the Christmas episodes that I like to obsess over are a little later. Or even, like, the Halloween
You could tell
ones.
by the animation.
Yeah, like the Harry Potter ones.
Oh yeah, that's... Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, Slithers. Like, that's, like... I think that's season, like, 13 or 14.
Dying tickle.
Anyways, those are the ones I came up with. Those aren't great.
I'm sorry I made fun of your RuPaul one.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. I do wish that there were other RuPaul ones that
There
came
are
to mind
other-
because I'm pretty sure we did that a lot.
Oh my god, I just the amount that comes to mind. Mostly Latrice Royale right now for some reason.
Yeah, she's special.
What happened was,
Yeah.
I'd say that for year. For year,
For
I said that.
here. Your quotes?
I only did 2, and I don't like them.
Do it anyway.
Well, because me and Dylan were watching Maleficent the other day, and she kept getting me to say what that crow says when he transforms into human form, and it's, "What have you done to my beautiful self?"
Yes.
And I couldn't stop doing it.
Uh-huh.
And then we watched it, and the way he says it, I do it fast. I did that kind of slow just now, but he says it so slow, and I don't know how to repeat it. "What have you done to my beautiful self?" And I'm like, people don't talk like that.
No.
What have you... See, I'm trying to do it fast.
Yeah.
Anyways, there's that quote,
Uh-huh.
and then the other one is, yeah.
What's that?
Which you won't know.
No, I don't.
See, okay, there we go. So she says something I never heard her say, and I just did the same thing.
Uh-huh.
This is betwixt me and Dill.
Yeah. Okay.
On
When you wrote that, on Instagram.
Yeah.
I heard Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do
thought
both.
that's what you were doing.
I do both. Yeah. So there's Reiner's yeah from Attack on Titan. Yeah. Which is actually, I think we believe in Japanese he's saying no, which is like yeah. So he's saying no. But see how lame that sounds in English? No.
Obviously.
But in
Everything
Japanese,
sounds lamely.
yeah. Hold on. Yeah. I can't do it. Yeah. Oh, there it is. Yeah. It's down there.
Okay.
And there's another one from Attack on Titan. Oh, I don't know if I want to include this part of my life. I don't want to
What's
go
wrong
down
with
this
that?
slippery slope of anime.
No. Well, the only thing is
That's our difference there.
you're gonna have to have a special guest with Dylan in here.
She would be, that would be so fun. Because
Yeah.
she loves anime like I love anime. She's so sweet because she's such a brat most of the time, but she does genuinely thank me for getting her into anime
Yeah.
when she was like younger. Because
I
it's
can't even do the
trending
Ariana
now.
Grande one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was in a public place with Shania and Charlotte. We were going to the mall, distance, with our masks
You
on.
dropped names.
And there was a crowd of people outside the
Snarlet
mall.
Sorry.
Are we not saying their names? We
don't
said
know.
Dylan, Charlotte, and Schnair. You know, my two best friends, Schnair, Schnair.
Yeah.
Schnair and Schnair. And I was standing with Schnair, and I had my hand on her shoulder, and I went, yeah, and it like echoed, and I went, oh, and I grabbed her, and I was like, I forgot I was in public, I forgot I wasn't alone. I was so embarrassed, and she laughed.
Well, yeah, Shnia does that.
Yeah, and she's been saying it now in the group chat, probably just to mess with me now.
I'm trying to think of other things that I'm into that Winnie would not.
I like how my
care
two
to talk
quotes are,
about.
yeah, I'm so sorry. Go ahead. My two quotes are yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, and then
Yeah.
your beautiful self.
What have you done with my beauty? I can't do it
Which
right
is
now.
fine.
What have
I
you done
feel
with my beautiful self?
You have better ones. We have better ones.
We're better than this.
We put unfair pressure on ourselves, and we came up short.
All I said was 5 quotes we say all the time, and we wrote down yeah, and fucking RuPaul's like tagline. We're like, yeah, that's us.
Which
That's our identity.
There you go, guys. You did a deep dive into our brain just now.
What's one of your favorite Harry Potter lines? Come on. From the movies only.
Okay.
From the movies only. I'll tell you mine.
Well, yeah, obviously you know what yours are.
Oh my god. Okay, so Lucius Malfoy's voice. Oh, what's his name? Okay, James something is the actor. I'm obsessed with him right now. But I love...
Doesn't even know his last name.
I'm obsessed with him. Yep, I follow him on Instagram. So that counts. I don't even remember your name. Like, I forget shit all the time.
Who the fuck are you?
Exactly. Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you?
Who the fuck do you think you are? If that's from something, I also don't know what it is.
Oh my god, see? There's so much we don't know about each other. Even though...
So this podcast
twin
is just going to be...
wavelengths. And then we're like, I don't know what that means.
fuck you're talking about. Anyways, your favorite line, Beach.
Oh, not my favorite. One of my favorites is... Oh, I'm going to grab this closer to my mouth. It's at the end of Chamber of Secrets. Lucius Malfoy is in Dumbledore's office and the actor improvises the line, "Let us always hope that Mr. Potter is around to save the day." I butchered the fuck out of that. That's not the words. I will be. Also improvised.
That's great.
Little baby Radcliffe.
I didn't know that.
They both improvised that line. And the actor improvised kicking Dobby down the stairs. And whacking him with a stick, and the director's like, cut. He's like, did you stumble? He's like, no, I kicked Dobby down the stairs, and then when he tried to get up, I hit him with my cane. He doesn't talk like this.
No.
Sorry.
You look like one of those ugly British men.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
You look like an ugly British man.
You're doing that thing with your mouth.
Yes. It's the
Which is what unattractive British men do.
That's my alter ego.
I'm sorry, my sister's a hot British man.
Thank you.
I don't know if this is my favorite Harry Potter quote, but it's fun to say.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason why I thought of it says I was hanging out with my friend Jeunet.
Oh my god. She's French.
Actually, she's a man.
Jeunet. Oh my god.
And we started to do it together, and we just carried it on for like a,
oh my god,
a while, and it was really good. You'll know.
Yeah.
Obviously. Ronald Weasley! How dare you steal that car? I am absolutely disgusted! Your father is facing an inquiry at work, and it's entirely your fault!
What? You
That was the same song. Anyways.
You step another 2 out of line, you're coming straight home. I don't know what that accent is I'm doing.
No, it was just shrieky.
It's like this. It's getting cockney.
Like a bird. Like if a bird had a voice.
What have you done to my beautiful self? Sorry, I'll stop. Off the rails there for a second.
Again, I don't know if that's my favorite. It's just fun to say.
All Severus Snape's lines. Oh my god.
Turn to page 300.
That is the second time you've spoken out of turn, Miss Granger.
Ew. Is that your fan fiction?
Why would you expose me like that on our first episode? I do read fan fiction.
You can edit it out if you want.
I'm leaving you too.
You will need to know.
Oh my god. It's
But
so
if
good
you're-
though. It's honestly, I've read fan fiction about The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit that are actually better. Like the Hobbit fan fiction definitely are better than the fucking movies.
Well, yeah.
They were like, you know how it should have went? And it was so much better.
Yeah, I never went and watched it, but I wish I had the dude who edited the 5 movies to make it just the book, which obviously
I thought
they
that was
should have
Topher
fucking done.
Grace. I thought it was like a celebrity who was like a big fan and edited it like that. I told that to Dylan.
Might have been.
And she was like, oh, it works with his character, Eric. That's Topher Grace, right? Yeah.
Eric Foreman. Yeah.
Oh god, Severus Snape though. Oh, Lucius Malfoy. Ah! Is it Lucius or Lucius?
They say Lucius in the movie.
Okay. Alright.
But depending on how you read it,
Lucius.
it can be luscious.
Luscious.
Luscious Malfoy.
Luscious Lucius Malfoy. That'll be my magic portrait code to get into the dorm room.
Luscious Lucius Malfoy.
Like, what did you say?
Nothing.
Hurls through the portrait.
Busts through the painting.
Like, Japanese door.
The paper doors.
Yes.
Yes.
What the hell were we talking about?
I don't know.
Quotes.
Just our quotes. And
Yeah.
then we went on the Harry Potter thing for a little bit
And
there.
I misquoted probably twice.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't do great. You were talking about like us. I'm gonna say this now. I'll say this now. We are big fans, but we get things wrong
all the time.
all the time, and I will be corrected, and that is fine. You're not allowed to correct us.
we know
correct
we're
ourselves.
wrong. That's the difference. Is when you know you're wrong.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm saying this all wrong.
I'm close, and y'all are getting the gist, and that is what you're gonna get probably from all of this.
It's
we
shocking.
give you the gist.
I misquote things for years, and then I'll find out it was a different way.
And I'll still be convinced for a moment that they got it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I'm so used to hearing it a certain way. What is that? The Gandhi effect?
The Mandela effect. The Gandhi effect.
Anyways.
Wow. Oh my god. Oops.
Yeah, we are almost at an hour.
Well, anything else you want to include?
I think we covered the ground.
Okay.
Without nonsense.
Let's decide on a theme for next sode.
Sods.
That you would really like.
Ooh,
Just time it down. Oh yeah.
Well, let's start off easy. Let's go with our Harry Potter. I think that's fair.
Okay.
But I think we're going to have to narrow it down, though, because if we just go Harry Potter, that is like a whole... There are people that have made whole podcasts just on Harry Potter.
The
like, we can't just make an episode.
The topic that which I would want to speak about would be Severus Snape. And Kylie's thing is that she hates him. And I love him, but only Alan Rickman, Severus Snape. And honestly, I love Alan Rickman, but I don't fangirl over just because it's Alan Rickman. I fangirl over him because it was Severus Snape as Alan Rickman. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't give a shit about Men in Tights, Alan Rickman. I'm not into it. I get all the TikToks that are like, you're into this, aren't you? And I'm like, no, I'm not.
I want Hans Gruber.
I only want him as Severus Snape.
Well, then let's just
But he's a dirtbag in the books, obviously.
We could do 2 characters then, because I think that, like, if we're trying to keep it this length, we can have a Severus Snape discussion, and then I'll also talk about
how they butchered Ginny. How cool book Ginny was.
You know what? Let's fucking do that.
Right?
I will dissect that, because she was one of my favorite characters in the books.
And Ron was so sweet. And you know what? Ron was really problematic in the books too, but he was very sweet too.
Yeah, he was so smart.
He was complicated.
They gave a lot of Ron's
Dialogue
advice and dialogue and characteristics to Hermione, which took a lot away from him in the movies.
And Harry didn't really like Hermione that much in the books. I have the 4th book on my phone. I was reading it because I started watching the 4th movie.
But we should stop.
Oh, okay, yeah. To be continued.
To be continued. And maybe by the next podcast we'll have a name for it.
Oh god, that should have been our ending note. What should we call ourselves?
What should we call ourselves? No, I'm not in a clever mood.
I'm still in the wavelengths now. I was like, what is dumb, stupid name? But that's actually kind of...
We're mostly on the same page.
everything.
Mostly on the same page.
Oh, what was the thing I said in the podcast that we recorded previously that no one's ever going to hear? Our big...
That's what it was. Our big gay brains.
Our big nerd brains.
Yes.
Sharing
our big nerd knowledge.
Big nerd knowledge. Big nerd knowledge
is fun.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. But then I feel like that's implying to a lot of people that we are bigger and nerdier and knowledgier than we actually are.
Which is false. Yeah, okay.
Our not so big nerd knowledge.
Because if we were ever in a room with real
actual fans.
Oops.
Basic
filthy
bitches.
Casuals, yeah.
Like, that could be it.
Oh, we could be filthy casuals.
Filthy casuals.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty fun.
Because it's true.
Yeah. And you use it as a burn all the time, and that is actually who we are.
Yeah, wow.
Yep. That could be it.
I came up with like 4 names there. You came up with one.
No.
All right.
And on that, moonwalks out of the room.
Yes. Thank you. Did we say thank you? How do we?
Pocket sand.
Pocket sand. Shasha.